back in the 30s tonight, so the door is open to get some action. So hopefully something will get stirring. I'm putting in a couple of new sets and made a few changes on the sets that I've already got in. I actually took out some other ones where the current was just too strong. It had already knocked some of my conibears over, so I took them up. But real quick, I'm going to show you how I set this little island up that I found yesterday. I put in a snare over here, but this was so wide open, and I'll show you now. So wide open that I had to kind of narrow it down, and all I did was I took this log right here and I blocked it off, and then I threw a snare in over here, so that way it kind of narrows down where they're going to come off onto this island. Now right here, I've got a number 4 foothold, and I've got it lightly wired to this slide pole. But I've got it wired at the bottom and I've got it wired at the top, so there's a slide wire along the side of that pole. I've never tried this set before, but there's a feed pile right here, and it's a perfect place to put in a foothold. But it drops off pretty deep out there, so I just wired to the end of that pole, drove that pole into the end of the ground, wired my number 4 foothold about 3 feet from the bottom of it, and then I wired off to the top. And I've also got this slide pole, I've got it wired to this tree. So if they come through here and try to work that feed pile, there's a good chance that he's going to get caught in that foothold. So I've also dropped in another conibear over where I found it fresh cutting, and so we'll check all these sets in the morning. It's getting down into the 30s, and hopefully we'll have some luck. This is the 5th run so far, but the only action I've seen is those 2 snares got bumped yesterday, so it's just a matter of time. We just got to wait them out, keep putting in new sets, and we'll start connecting on some beaver here. I'm going to show you now this job I'm working on now. These beavers had come in here and built about a 6-foot levee. It's just a small creek coming off these hills back here. But over time, all this is backed up and killed, I don't know, 35, maybe 40 acres of timber in here. He didn't want to kill all this timber out. They don't duck hunt. It actually would have made a perfect duck hole back in here, but they strictly turkey and deer hunt, so he didn't want just all this water backed up. He had to come in here with a backhoe, knock a hole in this dam. I think they shot some of the beavers, but this is an area that I'm working below this spot where they had backed this up a few years ago, and I'm trying to catch these beavers off this lake, but it made a mess back in here. If you leave them alone long enough and don't do anything to keep them thinned down, then you're going to have problems. It can flood vast areas of timber, kill all your timber out, and he's going to have an ongoing battle here. But show you where they had to cut this hole in this levee over here. Lord help me. I saw that log all scratched up. And it's another grinner, but he had a patch of orange. I don't know what he rubbed up against. He's got something orange on the side of his face. I thought surely it was another red pot. I mean a gray pot. But he's over here taking a nap. We're gonna have to disturb his nap, get him out of here and remake this set. You'll see what I'm saying. He's got an orange patch on the side of his head. I saw that and I thought, man, that's got another gray fox, but looks like a big old possum. Didn't have anything in my sets, but came down here on this ditch and it was a doe. I don't know, 45 yards ahead of me. She jumped over in that grass and snorted, went over the edge of that buckbrush and stopped, turned around. I just jumped her up again. I don't know if I got that on camera or not. I could hear it. Saw that flag running off in the bushes over there. This is a place that I found yesterday afternoon. I got this crossover covered. I put another conibear in on down on another run, and I dropped in a couple of 1.75 Victor footholds on this levee. So I got this covered pretty good. Only picked up one possum this morning and had one of my footholds was snapped. So we got 5 more snares to check. So I'm gonna keep on moving. Got to go about 20 miles from here and do a little walking, get back in and check those 5 snares and see what we come up with. Bunch of yellow jackets. I think that ranks right up there with a hornet. I don't know which one hurts worse. I've been stung by both of them. But found some sign over on another cove. I want to go over there and maybe set up some snares over there and see if we can't pick up an otter or a beaver, coon overnight. Gotta have a little tailgate breakfast to keep your strength up. I'm gonna try another little pocket I found over here. It's a long creek running off of Reservoir Lake. I saw a beaver dam down here. Whenever I get through eating, I'm gonna go down and check it out. And I know a couple years ago, just a little bit north of where I'm at right now, I found another creek that's got some beaver sign back there. So I'm going to continue to scout. It's getting awful cold. Ducks are on the move, geese are on the move, and the leaves are starting to fall off the trees. So you got a lot of work, a lot of scouting, a lot of trapping ahead. Stay tuned. Picked up a medium-sized beaver here. I mean, we had a heck of a storm last night and got in here, and this water's made 2 jumps over the past, I say, 3 or 4 days. And I couldn't see where it was at. I took my paddle. I could feel down there, and I thought I had something down there. You could feel. I thought, well, maybe it's an otter or a beaver, but I couldn't get the trap up. So I had to keep wrestling around, and I got a long piece of limb here, and I dug down there and I was able to rake it up. I still can't hardly get to the trap, but I got the beaver in the boat here. But I knew there was at least one in here because all these castor mounds had been topped off with fresh mud, and I mean, it was obvious, you could smell it. And I can smell this thing strong right now. It's a real strong castor smell right here. But I don't know if this is the only one that moved into this lodge or not. I took my other trap out because I can't tell where the entrance is, and I want to make sure that I got my trap placed proper. And this den entrance here is, I can't tell where it's at now, so I doubt I'll remake this set. I may move these traps to another location, or I may try to catch something on a pull out. I'm just going to keep watching to see where they're working, if they start cutting, or I'll keep watching for these castor mounds. But I almost couldn't get to this one. It's been several years since I've trapped back in here, but we just got a big rain that filled this lake up pretty good. And I see where they're cutting these buckbrush, all this buckbrush back in here. It looks pretty fresh, so I think I should be able to come in here with some snares and pick up some beaver in here pretty easy. I'm gonna walk through here now and show you some of these places where they're cutting on this buckbrush. There's a lot of beat down deer trails in here too. They're probably coming out here at night and getting water, watching on this grass. I'll work my way around the edge of this lake, but this little channel coming off this lake here ought to be a perfect place for me to drop a few snares in. There's a lot of sign right in here. I'm seeing coon tracks, and it looks like some otter and some beaver been back in here, but this water dropping so quick. But I still got a shot at maybe catching one or two beaver, maybe some stragglers that they're going to move out to this main lake. But I can pick up some of these coon, and these otter may hang back. There's a few little pockets of water back in here. I know a couple years ago I caught a coon on this creek, and I caught a gray fox up on that ridge, so there's several places I can set up in here. This looks pretty good.